How do I signal an unexpected shift in tone from light comedy to gripping drama? This gun in my hand. Tonight, on a very special This Gun in My Hand.
So what's the story, Mr. Zildjian?
Your dad said he was busy and asked me to watch you for a few hours, Billy. I guess that's why he didn't have time to describe our current surroundings or give background narration for today's story.
Maybe we don't need background today. We'll just pal around and have a good time.
Sure, that's why I brought you here to Gristle Park. I thought we could throw the old pigskin around or something, maybe play some stickball. I didn't bring any sticks or balls or skins, but we can join with some other kids.
Oh, good. We'll be in a public place.
Why is that good?
Not that I suspect you of anything, Mr. Zildjian, but I don't want to get locked in anybody's basement.
What would make you think I'd do that?
Dad said at the start this is a very special episode. That means something serious is going to happen. So serious that it'll be a jarring contrast with the normal humorous tone of the series.
You really think This Gun in My Hand is funny?
I can pick up on the clues that it's intended to be funny.
Well, anyway, your dad asked me to babysit you, so he must trust me.
That's true. We'll just keep our eyes peeled for weirdness.
Speaking of weirdness, what's that guy under the tree doing?
Say, isn't that a member of the World Crime Syndicate? They call him the Big Oat Tree.
I never understood his villain name. Oats don't grow on trees and they aren't frightening. Is it Oak Tree?
No. Each member of the World Crime Syndicate personifies a social problem, like Colonel Racism or the Xenophobe. You can't solve all those kind of problems with normal crime fighter skills, but at least you can punch the personification of racism in the face.
Okay, what's that got to do with oats growing on trees?
His name is a pun. He's Big-a-Tree. Big Oat Tree.
Oh, still not frightening.
I think he's crying.
Excuse me, sir. I'm not sure how to comfort a villain who repeatedly attempts world domination, but is something wrong? Why are you standing under this tree?
I'm hiding.
From justice?
From everyone. I'm too ashamed to tell anyone I caught gonorrhea.
This is being broadcast on all Magnum Radio Network affiliates, so you just did tell everyone.
Oh, shucks.
What's gonorrhea?
Nothing for you to worry about, Billy. That's the name of a beatnik villain who performs solo operatic vocal pieces. After he's done, people say, that was a real gone aria.
Boy, some of these guys are lousy at picking nicknames. Like that other one you mentioned. Who's Nick and why do people want to beat him?
Ask your Uncle Catch 2022. He'll keep you busy for hours. I mean, he might know.
Well, if you caught gonorrhea, Mr. Big Oat Tree, that's great. You must be new to being a good guy, so you might not realize it's okay not to kill bad guys. You can give gonorrhea to the cops. They'll keep him from doing more damage. Why weren't you able to catch gonorrhea, Falk?
You see, Billy, when a man and a woman really don't love each other and want nothing to do with each other, you know what? That's something for your parents to explain. And tell them it wasn't my fault you heard about it. It was this guy.
What am I going to tell Joni? She'll have to be tested.
I'm not really equipped to handle this kind of thing, Big O Tree. We're just going to leave you to figure things out. Please don't carry out any villainy. Come on, Billy.
Take that.
Where did that come from?
That guy on the park bench has a gun.
Hey, what are you shooting at? This is a public park.
If you must know, I'm shooting at blue jays. Disgusting creatures.
Who's that, Falk?
You've never heard of me, boy? They call me the speciesist. Not all animals deserve to go on living. Some species are better than others. For example, the brown rat, or Ratus norvegicus, is clearly superior to the nonsense rat, or Ratus burus.
I've heard of you, speciesist. You discriminate against certain creatures based on their species. But we're all God's creatures.
Wow.
What?
Nothing. I haven't heard you moralizing like this before.
I've done my share of moralizing over the years.
I know, just not usually this flavor of moralizing. You feel that strongly about preserving animals?
Honestly, no. I'm not sure what's come over me. I'm not feeling like myself today.
Let's not examine that too closely. I heard there was a star-nosed mole sighted in the park, and I'm here to squash it. Then I saw some blue jays along the way, and you know I cannot suffer a blue jay to live.
You might hit a human bystander. What is that, a Colt 45? You need a half-inch cartridge to take out bluebirds?
You can't tell the difference between a glorious blue bird and a filthy blue jay? No, I don't carry this just to eliminate birds and small game. Sometimes humans get in my way, and I need the stopping power of a 45.
Gee, Falk, now you'll have to catch the speciesist and gonorrhea.
How am I involved in your plans to catch gonorrhea? I'm gonna look for star-nosed moles on the other side of the park.
Oh, great. Now I gotta chase him down. Look, Billy, you're a rough-and-tumble modern 1930s boy. You can handle yourself for a few minutes alone while I go catch him, right?
Of course, Mr. Zildjian. My parents leave me by myself all the time. In fact, I've never had a babysitter before today.
All right, sit tight.
There's nothing much to do in Gristle Park. I know a place that's way more fun. The empty lot full of junk on the other side of Safest Houses Alley. I always find fun things there. One time I found a live bullet. It wouldn't fit Dad's gun, though. Who shoots a .32 these days?
Hey, kid, you don't look like you got nothing to do. You want to talk for a minute?
To a stranger I met in an alley? Always. My name's Billy. What's yours?
My friends call me Shady, on account of I sound just like that terrifying guy on the radio, the Shade. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of man? Shady got a pretty good idea of that.
Can you do mind tricks like the Shade?
No, but I bet you won't mind if I give you something for free, huh?
I guess so. What do you got?
I am willing to give you for free 1 Jazz cigarettes. If you want more, it's gonna cost you.
No thanks. I don't like jazz.
You're a kid, so it's forgivable. How about one of these?
A bullet?
It's an ammunition pellet for the Emerald Ash Borer's gas gun.
That's kinda neat. What do you do with it?
You grind it with a little mortar and pestle, and then you can snort it. Or maybe you can mix it with water, I don't know. Half the fun is finding out.
I don't think so. I hate it when I get a runny nose.
Alright, that's okay. I got more pockets with stuff in them. This I know you'll like.
Amazing mystery funnies. Now you're talking.
Yeah, so come see me when you're ready for the hard stuff. Crime and horror comics. I have to skedaddle. There are other children to corrupt.
Thanks, Mr. Shady. Now all I need is a quiet place to read this comic book. I see an old refrigerator in the empty lot. That'll shut out all the traffic noise and distractions. I can use my lighter to see what I'm reading. This is a big one, and the shelves come out all convenient-like. Yeah, this'll be nice and cozy. I guess you never really know you're claustrophobic until the first time you get in a tight space like this. Oh no, it's locked. I forgot how these old refrigerators from 2 years ago latch tight from the outside. What am I gonna do? I can't see anything. Darkness, imprisoning me. I cannot see. Absolute horror.
That's right, Billy. But you wouldn't be facing this problem if you had climbed into a Frigidaire-S brand refrigerator.
What's that?
It's a new kind of refrigerator with all the latest features, including a latch on the inside to prevent people from getting locked in.
But Dad, that brand name. I thought frigidity was a concept made up by guys who can't keep women happy.
Oh, maybe we should,
Also, Falk said I should ask you about how Big Oat Tree caught gonorrhea.
Tell you what, son. I'll explain all of that in age-appropriate terms later today when we're off the air. And then I'll have a word with Zildjian.
Sure, I can wait. But can you let me out of this fridge? It's getting stuffy in here.
Now you know better than that, Billy. A narrator who gets involved in the story might undermine the drama or suspense. How will Billy escape from the locked refrigerator in the empty lot with no one around to hear him? Find out after this commercial break.
Okay. Can you at least try to get through the commercial quickly? I don't know how much air is left in here.
You can't rush quality, Billy, but you can rush through disclaimers. See your local Frigidaire-S retailer for details. Warranty void if unit is left in empty lot. Frigidity is a concept invented by guys who can't keep women happy. Men who offer that diagnosis are telling on themselves. Always wear protective gear while operating Frigidaire-S refrigerators, as we haven't got the hang of keeping all the Freon inside the tubes. Please refrigerate responsibly and know your limits. Gambling problem? Call...
Come on, Dad. How would a refrigerator give someone a gambling problem?
People will bet on anything, Billy. And here comes that unflinching hero by virtue of the fact that he carries a gun, Falk Zildjian. I bet he'll draw his firearm and blast the lock off that rusty refrigerator. I'll try the handle first.
Falk, thanks for letting me out of this death trap. I thought I was a goner.
I'm sorry you had to go through that just to satisfy this cruel villain, Billy.
No, I'm sorry, Falk. I never should have climbed into an old refrigerator. They seem harmless, but some of them are airtight and I could have choked to death.
Right.
Yeah. Well, aren't you going to chide me for what I've done and wrap up everything with a few words of wisdom?
No, I'm trying to draw out the real villain. Someone who feels every story should have that kind of briefly stated moral at the end. He'll feel compelled to provide one if no one else does. His name is...
That's right. It's me. How did you know?
The speciesist.
No, Billy. The speciesist was a false identity to throw us off track. He doesn't care about blue jays or star-nosed moles. His actual villain name is the Specialist.
I'm no villain. The Specialist is my hero name.
You invade radio programs and films while they're recording in order to twist them into heavy-handed morality plays, also known as very special episodes.
What's wrong with that? We need morality more than ever in these dark times.
So you manufacture situations where a young boy gets trapped and almost dies in a refrigerator?
I knew you'd rescue him.
You engineer stories where people suffer from French diseases or addiction to jazz cigarettes. Some of your very special episodes involve teen pregnancy, or children receiving prurient attention from adults, or alcoholics causing car wrecks, just so you can drop a preachy moral message at the end. That's why the Specialist must be stopped.
Not when I'm backed up by the stopping power of this 38 special. Everybody knows they can trust Smith & Wesson for reliability, affordability.
I thought you carried a Colt 45.
That's for my cover identity, the speciesist. When I reveal myself as the Specialist, it's a 38 special.
Right, more wordplay.
Anyway, you're too late, Zildjian. You can kill me, but it won't stop this episode from being very special.
I don't kill people.
Remember episode 111?
Oh, your aim is off one time when you try to shoot a gun out of somebody's hand and people hound you about it the rest of your life. I'm turning you over to the police.
What crime have I committed? Inserting messages of morality into schlocky radio shows?
You're working as a scab writer by changing scripts while they're in production.
That's not a crime.
I don't know, then. Interfering with interstate commerce.
I'm saving hundreds of lives by teaching these lessons to children and ignorant adults. What does it matter if we have to sacrifice a few of them for the greater good? My actions reduce suffering in the long term, while your actions...
Hey, Mr. Specialist.
Gary McInder, what are you doing here? He's my business manager.
I know who he is. He's my manager, too. Gary, you gotta do a better job of vetting your clients. I can't tell the good guys from the bad guys. You know that. That's what you heroic types get paid to figure out. Irregardless of whether the Specialist is a hero name or villain name, I can't write a check to a pseudonym. If you want to get paid, it's got to be cash. So here you go.
This is not the place or time, Gary. I told you we should make transactions in my secret headquarters.
And where exactly are your secret headquarters?
It's a secret.
Then I gotta track you down in the middle of an episode if you want to get paid by the refrigerator company.
Refrigerator company?
Sure. You think he went to all this trouble setting up the frigid heiress spot out of the goodness of his heart?
You mean he gets paid for setting up morality plays? What about that very special episode of the Loner radio program I heard last week where the girl jumped out the window after smoking her first jazz cigarette?
Now, that's not...
Sponsored by Mary Jane Treatment Center of Santopolis. Don't let your child get hooked on the devil's lettuce. Send them to the clinic where all the greatest radio stars of the flyover states break their addictions.
What a rat!
Hey, come on. The guy's got to eat. I do this job out of a sense of duty, but I put a lot of work into it, so I deserve some money for it, too.
You could at least give us a piece of the action. I know. How about we do a story about prejudice? My schoolmate Gertie could insult somebody for their racial or economic status, or for being a tomboy or dressing like a fruit. Then the person she was mean to would be all pitiful and show how her words hurt people. A mentor figure like Falk sets her straight at the end, and she announces she'll never do it again.
Whoa, you're getting ahead of yourself there, Billy. Race and gender and economic status are natural categories with important differences, not social constructs. Science proves that. People should be made to feel shame for not belonging to the correct status, or not performing it correctly.
Okay, if you say so. Before we go, can I get your advice, Falk? My friend Jesse says they'll let me in Los Diablos if I steal a car. But I don't want to break the law, even if the gang does have really neat jackets.
You definitely should not steal a car, Billy.
Yeah, I figured that's what you'd say.
Because the Mime and Monk show had a very special episode about gang initiations last week. It would be repetitive if we moralized about the same topic so soon after they covered it.
Gosh, you're right. Well, my dad should be finished with whatever he was doing, so I'll hitch a ride home.
That sounds great, Billy. People in our community are always helpful when someone needs a lift. Make sure you play with your dad's gun when you get home. How else will you learn?
Oh boy, will I ever!
In this episode, we learned about a lot of behaviors that are good or bad. You might have heard me say that science proves race and gender and economic status are natural categories with important differences, and that people should be made to feel shame for not belonging to the correct status or not performing it correctly. Let me reassure you, I was just doing a bit. Of course, racial discrimination and snobbery about people's economic status are wrong. Heck, I'm not rich myself. I can't afford a tricked-out gun-mobile to chase criminals in. That's why I ride the bus. So don't judge people by how much is in their wallet or the color of their skin.
Or gender, right, Falk?
Well... A very special 38, episode 132 of This Gun in My Hand, was written, voiced, and edited, especially by the only member of its cast and crew, Rob Northrop. This episode and all others are available on YouTube with automatically generated closed captions of dialogue. Visit thisguninmyhand.blogspot.com for credits, show notes, archives, and to buy my books, such as Sisyphus Eat Your Heart Out, available in paperback and ebook from Amazon. What prevents me from suffocating in an unventilated chamber? This gun in my hand.